Hi friends and welcome back. I am so happy that you're here. We are cruising right along with this play along journal series. Already we are in week 8. I cannot hardly believe it. It seems like we just started this adventure, and the fun part is we still have a long way to go. So we're working through both signatures in this play along journal, and I'm actually working through 2 different journals every week, so you can kind of see how I work in a handmade art journal from the very beginning to the end. I try to share the supplies that I use with you guys, so if you ever have a question of what I'm using, look down in that description below, and if I miss something, just let me know and leave me a comment. So this page already has quite a bit going on. So we have that tag over on the right side that is tucked into that pocket. It's pretty dolled up already, and so I don't need to add too much. I could, but I just don't want things to be too distracting. So I'm loving the texture on top of the tag on the right side, so I wanted to add a little bit onto the left side as well. I have just a few little scrap pieces of fabric, and I just used my mini stapler to attach those to that page. That left side could have handled a lot more on the page, I think, but since it's a smaller page and you can see what's behind it already, I kind of wanted to let that speak for itself. Plus, I just love the bold yellow color that's there. And so just a few little adds of fabric was a perfect solution for me. I'm taking that tag now and I am adding a little bit of stencil onto the back. And sorry about that. It looks like my camera is shaking a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there. But just adding a little bit of interest onto the back side of that tag. Now I'm going to add a few little scribble marks as well. I picked out a quote and made sure it was torn down to the size that I wanted it to be. I want it to fit on the back side of that tag. I had stenciled with some black gesso, and I love that because it is super opaque, but it dries pretty quick. I'm coming in with the white gesso pretty soon after I applied the first stencil mark, so I'm getting a little bit of that blending of those 2 colors together, but I really like that. It makes things look a little less pristine and more grungy and a little bit more haphazard. I'm going to add a few little scribbles on top of that quote as well, just so that things look like they're kind of integrated into the background a little bit more. I never want to look like something is just kind of placed on top. I want it all to flow with each other. Adding pockets into your art journals is such a fun way to add some unexpected interest to your pages, and I make those typically before I bind the journal together. Overall, this is a pretty quick and easy spread. It really helps when you have some of those elements pre-made, like that tag was pre-made, and so it already added the interest onto the page. I feel like I accomplished something today by making this spread, but I don't have to really tax myself, especially on a day if I'm not quite feeling it. So that's a great tip if you feel like you struggle to get into your art journal or to get down to your studio to play or whatever it may be. Sometimes things just can feel a little bit too overwhelming. So I often like to make elements ahead of time. I like to have tags made up ahead of time, or different stitched elements or whatever it may be. That just really helps in my creative process so that I can pull from that stash instead of having to stop and think of the different elements that I can make. Since I added the stencil onto the back of the tag, I want to incorporate it a little bit onto that right side of the page as well, and I think that's just a fun little added thing there, and it kind of all ties in. I am adding a few little scribble marks onto the left side, and just like that, we are all finished. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this short little quick and easy spread today, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. See you on Friday. Have a good one.